Okay, good evening, guys. Good evening. Hope you all had a good weekend and hope your Monday has been good. You know, we used to say when I was much younger that Monday is a serious day. I don't know where everybody got that Monday is a serious day. So you have to come to work frowning. You enter the transport frowning. Everything you do frowning is a serious day. Then by 12:32, when people eat lunch now, all that seriousness is gone. So, but I like Monday. You are coming out from a weekend, a restful weekend. So um, it seems to you are refreshed for the work ahead. So Monday is good, and also is a good day to learn. It's also a good day to receive knowledge for the week. Monday is our day that we talk about. Is our webinar day. We try as much as possible to see how we can bring in different angles of the marketplace and to you. We have like 4 or 5 angles we come. This year, last year I added 2 to it, but this year I'm going to do quite all of them. I started with business from last year. We've been doing business webinar. Now we're moving into the leadership series. From the leadership series, I will go to the career development. From career development, I will do a bit of um, personal finance. I'll do a bit of personal finance, and after personal finance, I'll do a bit of marriage, relationship, both corporate and personal. So I'm sure by the time I finish all that, the year will be almost out. So once again, welcome, guys, to this webinar. And today we're talking about entrepreneurial leadership, how to be an entrepreneurial leader. How do I become an entrepreneurial leader? How do I become an entrepreneurial leader? Because leadership, the thing with leadership is it does not matter. It does not matter. Um, it doesn't matter where you are. Leadership cuts across board in all endeavors in life. And all things, I repeat, all things rises and falls on leadership. The success of a country, the success of a kingdom, the success of a business, an organization, the success of a home, all these things are hinged on leadership. You see, our country, Nigeria, is suffering. The whole of Africa is suffering because we have square pegs in round holes. We have a dire need of leaders that are suited for that position. And when leaders are not in place is a big problem. When leaders are not in place in anything, you find out that everything will suffer. Everyone will suffer, about within the organization or the country. When the leaders, when the wicked, well, let me just use in context of what I'm saying. When the right leaders are not in place, the country and the people will mourn. They will mourn. They will not be happy because of. They will mourn and they will not be happy because of what is going on. So and this is what we are talking about tonight. But tonight we're not talking about a country. We're not talking about politics. We're talking about the entrepreneurial leadership. There are different angles of leadership we're going to touch before we leave this series. But tonight I want to talk about entrepreneurial leadership. Okay. So what does it mean to be an entrepreneurial leader? These are some of the things that we'll be looking at. Okay. Before I proceed, I want to ask those of you that that are on Instagram, and those of you that are on Facebook. It might do you good to migrate to YouTube or to Zoom. The Zoom link is in every advert we send out. It might do you good to move over to Zoom and to YouTube, where you can see the slides. And with the slides, it can help you while I teach. It can help you to have more insight. I think in pictures. So it's easy for me. I like when a topic is discussed. I always use a picture image. I always tie it to an image so that I can remember. It helps me to remember. So that's why I like images a lot. I like pictures a lot. So, and that's why I also do PowerPoint. I also do PowerPoint presentations so that people can be able to get to get a picture. So like I said again, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, just move over. You can move over to Zoom or YouTube so that you can see the slides. So the objective of this presentation is to do what? What does it mean to be an entrepreneurial leader? This leadership series is going to go round. So it's not just in entrepreneurship. We're going to go round the total leadership, what it takes. So I think it will be an exciting time in this leadership series. Just make sure you come live. You are live with me. And if you also know someone that is interested in leadership and to understand how leadership works, please invite that person. And when you see our link, just invite that person. Okay. So also what we need to what we need in this presentation, or some of the things we're going to get out of this presentation is are you an entrepreneurial leader? Are you an entrepreneurial leader? Are you an entrepreneurial leader? We're going to find out this night. If you're not, you can be. The essence of this presentation is that so that you can become that entrepreneurial leader, or that leader that you want to be, and that's the objective here tonight. Okay, so let's move on. And here, what is entrepreneurial leadership? What is entrepreneurial leadership? Let's consider that before we begin to go into how to become one. So yeah, entrepreneurial leadership, or rather, entrepreneurial leadership is about applying entrepreneurial mindset to how you lead. You know, like I said, there are different aspects of leadership. Tonight we are zeroing in on entrepreneurial leadership. So who is the entrepreneurial leader? To those of you watching the slide, entrepreneurial leadership is about applying an entrepreneurial mindset to how you lead. Being an entrepreneurial leader will require you to do some certain things. We're going to go into detail, but I just want to, in this overview and intro, I just want to open our minds to what an entrepreneurial leadership is. An entrepreneurial leader requires an openness, must have an openness, open-mindedness to learning. Learning is very key in entrepreneurial leadership. Learning is very key in any form of leadership at all. Entrepreneurial leader is one that has the ability to invite opportunity in. Ability to invite opportunity in. This is the entrepreneurial leader. To be able to smell is just like smell opportunities, grab them and bring them in. This is how you, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you some guidelines of how you can hone your ability to be able to invite opportunities and bring them in. Entrepreneurial leader is someone that is able to motivate and mobilize others within the organization or company or wherever they belong to do the same thing that is required of every leader. Entrepreneurial leader is someone that also is mindful of succession and planning. So an entrepreneurial leader, and I believe in this entrepreneurial series, I'm going to talk about succession in one of the teachings. So this leadership is loaded. So just hang on. The weeks coming are
Come,
going
get
to
me
be
a
very
pillow.
interesting
A pillow.
for all of us, even for me that is presenting it. Okay, so an entrepreneurial leader is one that has the desire for change. Leadership is about change.
Ismaila, we go
One that
put all,
has the
we go put the
desire
one we
to
don't do now.
change, to bring about change.
Make we wait until all the
to
curtain come, all
something, to
the
an
chair come out
organization,
before
to
we
a
put all of
country.
them. Or they not going to
One
finish.
that wants desire to see
Eh?
things done well. So a leader is someone that is not
I say make
happy
we
with
wait
status
till we
quo.
put all the chairs
Even
together.
if the
So just
status
remove
quo
all
is
of them
okay and
first.
comfortable, a leader is saying, well, we can do more. Why should I earn 50 million when I can earn 500 million? Perhaps we should do more. Why should I have this when I can have more? That is who an entrepreneurial leader is, a desire to bring about change. But it's also not just about bringing about change, because we have a lot of pundits they come to the radio and television, they talk a lot, but they are not willing to be committed to practice the things that are required to bring about the change. Leaders are not commentators. Leaders are thought leaders. Leadership is about entrepreneurial leadership is about thought leadership in your area of concern or your area of specialization. So it's not about talking. What makes you a leader is not to tell us the problem that Nigeria has. It's not to tell us the problem that the company has. That we are not making sales. All of us can see it. That's why we are calling this retreat, to know what's happening to us and what is the way forward. Our country is not moving forward. Is all of us know an entrepreneurial leader is one that not only desires change, but to commit, to practice, to do everything that will bring about that change. Think of your leadership instinct. Entrepreneurial leadership is like entrepreneurial leadership or instincts is like an ice cube that is formed, that is solidified. That is how it is. That's how it is. So in order for you to bring change, entrepreneurial leader has to melt that ice. And as that ice is melted, it begins to adapt to new behaviors and new ways and new instincts to live. Because now we're saying that this thing is solidified. Corruption is solidified. We're saying that there is no sales. So what do? We begin to distill gradually and to melt gradually. And while we're doing that, then we are reshaping everything. That is what entrepreneurial leadership is all about. Reshaping everything that has solidified, everything that has been formed. People have mindsets have been formed, ideologies have been formed, way of doing things have been formed. A leadership is now the one that will break it down a bit
I don't
and
open one packet
rebuild
of soap
them. So
for
people
inside that
that
place
have that
for my
ability to
toilet.
be able to break down things and rebuild them, these are the leaders that we are looking for. Okay, so let's get down to the business of
Remove
why
this
we're here
one.
today,
Then they stay.
how to be an entrepreneurial leader.
No
So let
add
me
them
give
to
you
this
some
one.
tips that can help you. They're not limited to this, but this will generally open your eyes and your mind and your imaginative thinking of how I can become one. If you can write this down and if you can note them and maybe research a bit further and just develop that consciousness. I tell people what makes you transition from one place to the other is not so much
is calling you a mom.
it's not so much about knowing what to do, but willingness to do those things. Willingness to do those things um, willingness to do those things. Okay, so someone is talking about muting the mic. Let me just see if Banji, are you on WhatsApp? Sorry, are you on this thing? On Zoom? Okay. Okay, I've done it. Just all right. So let's get down to business of being who. Let's get down to the business of how to become an entrepreneurial leader. Okay, the first one is to focus on opportunity. An entrepreneurial leader has to develop himself to focus on opportunities. And how does he do that? Is to be observant about his surroundings. I tell my students at the business school, and I tell them the first thing that you need, the first tool as an entrepreneur is the gift or tool of observation. Observing your surrounding. You must be able to survive or observe your surrounding, because if you do not observe, you will not see that gap. You will not see that need. Business is about filling that gap for financial reward. So there is a need that we see in the society, in our community, where we are. There is a need, that there's a gap. So now you are the business person, the entrepreneur, are seeing that people have this need in this area. So because they have this need in this area, what happens is that you now bring out the solution. You now bring out the solution. You now bring out, your imagination creates a product or a service for them, and that is what they reward you for being observant, in doing, observing your surrounding. So the first thing an entrepreneurial leader must do is to be able to talk to people, they talk to people, they look at situations and they read that situation. For you to be able to read every situation effectively, you must observe. You must be able to observe. You must be able to observe exactly what is happening, to read the situation and be able to read in between the lines. What's the difference between a common eye and a keen eye? The difference between a common eye and a keen eye is that a keen eye has developed his eyes to be able to observe things that are happening in the society. You can ask two people to sit down in a market. You can ask them to sit down in the market and say, just observe what is happening. Well, a common eye can just be observing and say, oh, people are coming. A lot of people, today is Wednesday, a lot of people are coming to the market. The market will boom at this particular time. Some people fought here, some people did this, general talk about what they see, people coming and going. But a keen eye will see that it's like in this particular market, yam moves more than Gary in this market. People come to this market predominantly for this particular product. So it means that if I can bring this product in this market, it will move. So a keen eye is looking for where the money is going, the money trail, is looking at the money trail. What are people buying? Not necessarily who is coming and going, not necessarily two traders fighting, not necessarily where not having parking space. Because sometimes if I ask people, especially I ask my kids, what did you see when they follow their mom to the market? They will tell you all manner of stories. And this is how the common eyes, they see. They just see things that are not economically important to you as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur observes. He follows the money to see where there's a gap and to see where I can put my effort so that I can get financial reward. And that is the essence of being in business, for that financial reward. Okay, I believe that. So, and all I've said, the summary of what I've said, is to be able to read in between the lines, to discern the things that people need in the marketplace, so that you can give them, supply them that, or you can provide that for them, and they will tell you thank you with their money. You know, all of us have heard this saying, think outside the box. But it takes a lot to think outside the box. It's more than that. And you know one thing, it's not rocket science. You don't have to be extraordinarily brilliant to be an entrepreneur. No, all you need is keen eyes. This thing I've explained to you is all that you need to become an observer, a keen observer, someone with a keen eyes. You have developed yourself to look at the major, not to major on the minor, not to look at the things that are inconsequential, that does not add money to your bank, but look and observe the things that can add money to your bank. And you can see what others are not seeing. Others are seeing a pandemic. Some people are seeing pandemic. Some people are looking at the looming lockdown that might come if this thing begins to rise, because they're telling us there are over 4,000 variants of COVID-19. I don't even know what to say about it. But what I'm saying now is, what if now there's a lockdown? Some people are afraid that another lockdown, I don't know how I will feed my family. But people with keen eyes are already doing their mathematics. I know that by now they already have 2 services or 1 product that are in the offing, waiting for an opportunity for them to launch it. So when you have keen eyes, you can see what others are not seeing. What others are not seeing, this is what makes you an excellent and brilliant entrepreneur, to see what others are not seeing. And that's also what it takes to identify opportunity. Because opportunity is what changes your level. If you cannot see opportunity, you can't supply. If there's no market for something, you cannot manufacture the market and manufacture the people that are going to buy from you. No, you can't do that. So you have to follow with keen eyes to be able to identify opportunities. Okay, an entrepreneurial leader takes an opportunity-based approach to everything. You are looking for opportunity. You are moved by opportunity. You're not moved by what people are saying. You're not moved by the statistics of what you hear on news, or what you hear on the radio, what people are saying. You're not moved by that. You're not moved by that. What the economists have said, the country will come out of recession. It's not coming out of recession. The country will not take up until Q4 2020. All those things are good for those that need them. But an entrepreneur is looking, all is focused on is opportunity conscious, opportunity focused to situations and to people. So you are looking about opportunities that you can latch on with the people that you meet. Whoever you meet, you not look at what can come out of it. Everybody you meet is an opportunity to sell. Everybody you meet is an opportunity to have a contact that you can service. Every opportunity, every situation that happens, whether it's a crisis, whether it's this or whether it's that, business does not recognize crisis. It does not. A crisis sees opportunity. Somebody is there crying for a loved one that just passed. Somebody is there making plans of how to be an undertaker. Now it pays a lot. You can have 5, 10 million, 20 million, 25 million to bury one person at a time. So one man's mourning is another person smiling to the bank. That is where entrepreneurs come. An entrepreneur is what? An entrepreneur is looking at your crisis. I sympathize with you, but I see opportunity. Why? Because you're a rich man and you want to send your loved one. You want to send them to you want to send them away from this earth in a bang or with a bang. You want to send them out well, you know, but you don't have the time. You don't have the resource. You don't have the time. You have the resources, but somebody's imagination, somebody's going to come and say, can we send forth this man you love in such a way that is a give him a bequeathing burial or send forth to the afterlife? Can you be able to do that? You know, somebody comes up with this. I want a casket of 10 million flown in from the US. This is what I want to do for my parents. This is what I want to do. So it's a sad thing, but it's also a good thing for an entrepreneur. So this is what I'm saying. You must have keen eyes for anywhere you see, anywhere you fit. And this is where entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial mindset comes into place. So for you to be able to do this, you have to ask yourself, what can I learn? It's about learning new things. What are the new perspectives? What a new perspective could teach them how to find people, situations that can accelerate this opportunity. This is the position that an entrepreneurial leader takes for him to be able to do what he does and to be able to be effective in that thing he does. So entrepreneurial leader, the second one is you must be a learner. You must have this penchant for acquiring knowledge. You must have this desire to learn something every day, something new. You know why? Nobody knows it all. We don't know it all. You've heard this saying, the best leaders are learners. Adopt this as your mantra today. The best leaders are learners. I'm sure we have also heard. Readers are leaders. Why are readers leaders and best leaders are learners? Why? Because you are renewing yourself. You are refreshing. It's just like on the internet, you refresh a page so that you can get more information. When you read, you are refreshing yourself. So you cannot be an effective leader if you do not read. The more you develop the more you can develop a learning mentality, the better you'll be at solving or staying open to hear new ideas. People that are not open to learning, they can't learn a new idea. So it means that they cannot bring a new idea into their business. And that's where people begin to tell you, why do I need to change a winning formula? Nobody is telling you change a winning formula, but you can upgrade a winning formula. Your phone today is okay the first day you bought it, but because it's app-based, you need to be updating so that you can have new features. The formula you have is okay. The people you have, they're okay, but you need to upgrade what they know. And you also need to upgrade what you know so that you can constantly have ideas, because those ideas is what sets you ahead of competition. So if you're not learning anything, you are not opening up your mind to be able to, learning helps your imagination. Imagination helps innovation and creativity. And innovation and creativity helps you to remain as a market leader or to become a market leader. A learning mentality helps you to consider contrary points of view. You see, when you have opened yourself up to learn, contrary views are not seen as negative. You don't see, because in every crowd, they always say, out of every 12, there's a Judas. Out of every family, there's a black sheep. But you see, the thing with those black sheep is not that they don't have their value. They are just radical in the way they think. Don't expect everybody will think like you, be like you. Sometimes they come out, radical people come out with revolutionary ideas that can change and transform the world. But if you don't learn, you will not be able to. You look at everybody that is saying something as if they're attacking you. But when you learn, even if you don't like what they said in a meeting, you go back. A learned mind does what? You will go back. Is this man right? You research, you think about it. So in the next meeting, if the guy is right, you tell him, Tony, I think you're right. But if he's not, you tell him, Tony, you are dead wrong, and this is why it is wrong, and you give him the reasons. Someone that is not open to learning cannot think in that way. Everything is negative. Everything is antagonistic to their own way of doing things, but it's not supposed to be so. A learning mentality helps you to arrive at improved or updated decisions. And you must be updating those decisions. Why? Because new things are happening in the marketplace every day. New customers want new things. They might want the same old thing, but they want it in a different way. So you must be able to arrive at improved updated improved or updated decisions. Another one is staying with the means at hand. What do I mean by stay with the means at hand? I just saw this news. To stay. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, what is this? Okay. All right. Stay with the means at hand. What do I mean by entrepreneurs start with the means at hand? What I mean is, don't start cooking up a meal without taking stock of the food items you have at home that are available for that. Don't be so much cook your, they say cut your coat according to your size, or cut your coat according to your pocket. Start with what you have. Entrepreneurial leaders are mindful of where they want to go, what they want to achieve, but they also know that they have to start with what they have right now. You can't start your company. I used to know a relative that worked in a big multinational company. And when he started his own business, he was trying to run his business like that multinational. He was paying his staff. They had official cars. He wanted to give them that feeling. Some of them that he took from where he was coming from, that feeling of okay, that they can sustain, or they can pay. You can take care of they can take care of their bills with you. But you don't have enough contract. You're just starting. You're a startup to be able to sustain at that level. Guess what? The company is of no more, because they ran into the ground. The overhead was too much. They could not. They started selling off assets to be able to maintain. After a while, no amount of contract was able to sustain them, because you are trying to compete with a company that's been over 20 years. Entrepreneurial leaders know that they need to begin with what they know. They need to begin with who they know and what they can find. Cook that meal, or start that business. If you have the basic things, start that business and start it and move it from there. Entrepreneurial leadership is not about not only knowing what you want or where you're going, but knowing what you have right now to start it. Then as you start it, make sure that when profit begins to come, as an example, when profit begins to come, it's not for you now to be sharing money to the shareholders, paying dividend, and doing all manner of things when you are not investing in machinery, as assuming you need them. A time will come, you need to realize that this, we will grow into it. Start with what you have and grow to become what you want to be. Chief among the things that you have and you need to source for are other people. Start with the people that you have. Start with the people that you can get, but make sure they are the right fit. They are suited for what they are doing. Make sure they are suited for what they are doing. Start with that. And as the business will surely scale, then try to start big. When you start from the top, you go down. But when you start from ground, you go up. Okay. Another is to seek outside inputs. Entrepreneurial leaders are not shy to seek outside input. Entrepreneurial leaders are not shy to reach out to people, to ask questions and to get advice from people. After all, in the multitude of counselors, there's safety. Yeah, entrepreneurial leaders think beyond their first idea and seek the input of others. This first thought is the, how will I say it, is the nemesis of many startups, because they get stuck. I think I dealt with it 3-4 weeks ago. They get stuck in that idea. They have this great big idea and they don't want to share it with anybody because somebody's going to steal it from them. Somebody's going to take it from them, you know. So they are not sharing and they're not getting input from people. And when you're not getting input from people, you're like a pond. Entrepreneur is not supposed to be like a pond. Entrepreneur is supposed to be like a river that have many sources. They are flowing in. They have inlets. They have outlets. That's an entrepreneur, coming and going. Ideas are coming. People are coming, depositing their ideas, their gifts, and it's moving. Then be a pond. Only you are determining everything. You see that such businesses cannot scale very fast because you and the people around you, most of the time you have saturated with your ideas are saturated, and so you people are just going around one mountain you don't know. But one outsider can just say one thing and it can just ignite that creativity one more time among everybody. You know, you need that momentum from time to time, and new people always bring that momentum to you. So your ability to see beyond your first view, your first idea, is essential to identifying opportunities, inviting others in, and creating an all-inclusive culture for continuous innovation. When you have an idea, you must invite people in form of advisors, in form of partners, in form of staff, in form of friends, whoever you need to seek advice. And you use that counsel to create an inclusive culture for continuous learning. An entrepreneurial leader keeps in mind that there is more than one best way of doing things. It is not your way alone. It's not what you think alone that can make you work. Because if it were, there would be no need for competition. There won't be so much competition driving the world if there's only one way. But that one way that you're doing whatever you're doing, there are a million other ways you can do it. There are even a million other ways that are better than what you are doing, the way you are doing it. So where do you get it? If you don't have it already, then you have to seek it from other people. And you know, one of the great qualities of an entrepreneurial leader is the ability to step back and allow others to offer ideas about certain aspects of the business. stepping back, listening to others, taking their ideas, running with it, and giving them the accolade, the reward, and the accolade and the reward that they are the ones that did it. Most entrepreneurs are proud. They want to be the best. They want to be the only ones, and they don't want to recognize that they got an idea from you. I have a friend, a gifted man, but doesn't know how much is gifted. He's always competitive, looking at what people do, and he runs almost everything he does based on looking at what others are doing. But this is how he does it. When you tell him an idea, or he comes and sees you're doing something, he's going to take that thing, tweak it in such a way that when you look at it the first time, you will not know that he was copying. Then he will do things, and at the end of the day, he will bring it out as his own idea. Instead of just asking, guy, help me with, what do you think about this? He will go, people that are not straight, he will go to Sokoto before he will now begin to find his way back to Port Harcourt. Why? When he can just ask you, and you can just tell him, this is what he can do. No, he's too proud to ask you that, so he does that. And I see him, I've had a couple of things, ideas we have shared. He has the means to run with it. So I shared twice, I shared an idea with him. This is what I want to do. In the next 2 weeks, he was already doing it. I just laugh. I laugh because there are people like that. They don't, even when they seek outside help, they want it to look as if it's their own. They don't need help. And such people always run into problems. Today, is the company existing? The company is not existing. He has left it, he's doing something else. Because he can't step back and let people bring ideas to him. So that in itself is an attribute that no entrepreneurial leader should have. Then also, an entrepreneurial leader invests in their team. Don't just find people, enlist and enroll them towards a common purpose. All of you must be going in the same direction. All of you must be growing at the same time. Don't grow and leave your staff behind. Don't grow and leave the people that helped you achieve those things. Don't grow and leave them back. Leave them behind. As you increase in life, increase them. As you acquire knowledge, give them also the opportunity. Pay for them to acquire that knowledge. What happens to you should happen to them. That is an entrepreneurial leader. If not, you are just growing and they are not. And it comes to a time that when you speak, your ideas, they can't comprehend because they are far lower than you. But every entrepreneur that wants to last, know that the people around him must grow like him. Entrepreneurial leader is one who gets a group to truly operate as a team. You cannot operate as a team if everybody is not getting equal treatment. If you are not being fair to all. Entrepreneurial leader is someone that creates collaboration and high performance that sparks more innovation. Entrepreneurial leader is someone that can motivate someone from nothing, can speak to somebody and that person will change from being a passive star to become a highly productive star. Entrepreneurial leader is one, when they see the person is genuine and the person is fair in what he does, they bring out everything to make sure that this organization will surely scale as long as I'm here. Entrepreneurial leader brings out the best in others. It takes fairness. Be firm, but show. One thing I've seen in life that have helped me in the places that I've led before is people want to know and people remember you that you care for them and not the work per se. And when you understand that it's people that make the work, then your focus should be more help the people than be focused on the work. When someone comes and you are more interested in the person is breaking the law in terms of coming late, I'm not saying tolerate lateness, But I'm saying if somebody comes, they give the person benefit of doubt by asking them what happened. And if they tell you what happened, you see that, okay, instead of telling them, I don't, you are lying, even if you know that they are lying, give them 2 or 3 times. They will not be able to tell you the same thing again. Somebody that is a perpetual late comer, after a while, they run out of lies. And they by themselves will put, in fact, they will tie the rope on their neck and hang themselves. So you are giving them the benefit of doubt because you believe that it's about them. Because when you work on the man, when you encourage the man and build the man and help the man will perform better. I had somebody introduced me to someone that worked for me a while back, and the guy was good. All of a sudden, I realized that he was not. And he comes to the office on some evening about 4 or 5. This man is eating bread and coke. I saw him and he said, "Oh no, he likes bread and coke." I said, "Will you still eat at home? What will so all go home?" Oh? One day I called him and said, "Come, what is all this nonsense you're doing? Bread and coke. Who will eat the food in your house?" The man just broke down and said his wife doesn't cook. They were having issues and all that. For the next 2 or 3 weeks, it was marriage counseling for his staff. And as soon as him and his wife were able to scale that process, what happened was that the man bounced back and become a good staff. So you can imagine tomorrow, even if I do something wrong to him, maybe I shout on him, or maybe I say we'll remove something from your pay because of coming late. The man knows that I care. It's because I want this work to work. I want this job to whatever the project to move. That's why I'm doing that. When we need to run with laws and regulations, if not, we'll be like a city without walls. Nobody can stay without any form of rules and regulation. So he knows that, but he also knows that the man cares. And when push comes to shove, I will ask him, what is the problem? That's what people want to know, that you care about them as a person, not necessarily about the job. By investing in your team and team members' development, you are building trust, you are building loyalty, and an engagement that is a key driver to making things happen. Okay. All right, entrepreneurial leaders, they think big, really big. Their imagination is out of this world. They imagine new possibilities and paint the picture for others. You know, one thing is to be able to know what you want, but are you able to interpret it to others? I remember I had to work on myself to be able to articulate the vision that God has put inside of me. It took me months. I will write it down, but I will say nobody is going to read all these things. How will I, in a few words, in 1 minute, do this speech? And that's a few weeks ago we did what did they call elevator pitch. I had to learn elevator pitch for my vision. I have to learn elevator because if you think big and you cannot interpret it, is a problem. But entrepreneurs should be able to think big, not when I say think big, don't think unrealistic things. There are some people that have unrealistic, say I will bring out this product within 6 months, I'll become a multi-millionaire, I'm going to sell it here, sell it here, sell it here. And sell it where? Do you know who is going to buy it there? No, sir, by the time I do this thing, you'll be surprised. I will come back and say thank you for what you have done for me. But you don't have any model on ground to make this thing work. So it's not that type of thing big I'm talking about. New possibilities and paint the picture for others. Your ability to provide a vision of why the work you are doing as a team is important. Your team at every particular point in time needs to know how important this thing is. Let them know how important. Don't hide things. When somebody is a team member, you should be able to open up. This is why this thing is important. Cast that vision. Let them run with it. Write that vision down. Make it plain so those that read it can run with it. You be able to, those that read it can be able to understand what you are saying. And the team want to know where they are going. Is a key component of being an entrepreneurial leader. They need to know where they are going. They want to know where they are going with you, or where you are going with all these things that you're saying. So entrepreneurial leader is able to receive, to articulate his vision, write it down, explain it well, and bring out the importance of it to people, his team, and help and encourage the team to run with it. That is an entrepreneurial leader. Also, an entrepreneurial leader seeks feedback. Feedback is very important. Hone your ability to adapt to context, people, and feedback importantly. Approaching situations with a learning mindset, will come again, enables entrepreneurial leaders to take new information and navigate shifting landscapes or territories because they have learned something new. A learning mindset, we come back to learning. You are learning. Seeking feedback is a new form of learning. You are taking new information. Oh, this is what people are saying about our product, our service. This is what people are saying about our event, because you are getting a feedback, and it's okay. This is the feedback. Okay, because of the feedback, let us do this. When we started making Nigeria, it started as ICBEC, still ICBEC making Nigeria. It was 2 days. The first one was 2 days, and the customers and the exhibitors came to me and they said, "We are just unpacking. The program is ending." We had how many exhibitors? About 20 or I can't remember. They said, "We are just unpacking. The program is over." So the next year it became for 4 days. That was the second year. It became 4 days. Then by the third year, it became 6 days, and it's been 6 days. And every year they are telling me to increase it to 10 days. Some say 14 days. But I've not had that leading to be able to increase it. But what am I saying? When you have information, you are able to now take that information, that new information, to see whether there's anything you can update, upgrade in what you are doing. So feedback is very important for updates and upgrades and charting new course or courses for your business. A key to doing so is to consistently seek out and incorporate feedback from many people as much as possible. As you gain this input, you build your vision for the future more strongly. So now your methodology, your mission statement becomes broadened. You change certain things. Your core values change because of the feedback you're getting. One guy came to me maybe 6 years ago or more. He told me that, why is it that we're changing? We change an aspect of the foundation, what we do. He said, no, we need to. Why am I changing? That there must be consistency. Why am I changing from this to this? We changed it 2 times. We should leave it the way it is. If anybody doesn't want it, they will. And I said to him, we're here to serve people, and we must listen to their feedback and take the one that is important. So I told him that we are changing because of the feedback we are getting. And we have considered those feedbacks and see that it's better we are serving 20 people. consistently than serving 100 people sparingly. If these 20 people are loyal, faithful, every year they are with us, then let's serve them and increase the likes of them that are faithful and loyal, than to say that I will remain the way and not be able to serve the people, the loyal customers. I have to flow with that. So this is why I changed. I didn't explain to him because he wouldn't understand. But feedback helps you to either adjust or maintain status quo. For us at that time, we decided to adjust, upgrade, than maintain status quo, because we saw the need in it. This is the power of feedback. And every entrepreneurial leader must know. I told my friend, I say, we were joking, I say, feedback is not gossip. Because I come, one person, staff, we started, this one said this one. This one said this one. It's not gossip. You will wreck your organization when you are taking gossip from people. This one will gossip, because you won't know when internal war is going on and conflict. You will now be in between. Everything will suffer. You will suffer. Feedback is not gossip. That one staff said this one. So I'm talking about feedback on a project, feedback on sales, feedback on the people that you're supplying. This company is in business to offer a service or a product for someone. So you are getting feedback in the things that affect that project. So if somebody in the line of duty did something that might affect the project, when you are reporting the project, make it official. Don't make it personal. This is what the person said. This is what the person did. Not that the person was saying the MD cannot do anything. That me and the MD were from the same place. He won't do anything. That's not official reporting. We don't need to hear that. That he messed up is all we need so that we can fix it. Report feedback is different from gossip. It's also, I would have said more, but I believe that you understand what I'm saying. Okay, lastly, take action. The reason why we have successful entrepreneurial leaders are people is because people decided to take action. They move forward, even in the unknowable, ready to learn. Entrepreneurs ready to face anything, but they are ready to learn new ways of doing it, new ways of achieving this. They are ready to learn. Some people don't like to embrace ambiguity. They don't like to embrace something they cannot see. They are not ready to say, let's just go in blindly. Let's just have faith and go in blindly. Most recognize that one of the simplest ways to learn is to take a step. If you feel strongly, that's what it's called. I have a hunch. I have something inside that I feel that this thing will work. Entrepreneurial leaders are people that take risks, even when it looks as if this thing will not work. Entrepreneurial leaders take their time, research, and go with that gut feeling. Let me just try. After a man dies once, let me just try. I believe that something is out of it. How do you even know you will? Nobody knows, nobody is sure of anything. There's nothing foolproof in life. Nothing. So you cannot say this is the possible outcome. Anything can happen. So take that risk. Why not take that risk? If it doesn't work out, you have learned a lesson. You can try again and succeed, because now you know why it didn't work. But not to try at all is the greatest travesty of all times, because you will never know, you will never understand what it takes to be successful. If you don't try, you will keep saying, don't mind those people. Somebody helped him along the way. He has a brother in government that helped him. You will never know what it takes. You will think it's luck. There's no luck there. Manufacture your own luck. You think it's luck because you have not tried. But when you try and you fail, you try again and you succeed, then it's no longer luck. When people see you, they will say, that when you are successful, they will say, that no, you are somebody helped you. Let them say whatever it is, but take action. Without action, you won't know whether you can succeed or not. Okay, this is what makes an entrepreneurial leader. You know, with this increasing, there's an increasing complex, with the ever increasing complex business environment we find ourselves, where rapid changes take place in technology, competition, regulation, and customer needs are the norm. This has led to the search of new ways of doing things, new way which organization can develop the right capabilities to do what they do, by which they can continuously anticipate the need for change. So effective entrepreneurial leadership is becoming increasingly important in ensuring that organizations adapt quickly to changes in today's fast-moving global economy. There's a lot happening every day. You can't be silent, or you can't be watching and say, let us see what will happen. Let us see what will happen. Let's just watch and say, no, it's a time for entrepreneurial leaders to take action. If you need a new product, it's time to take action, to do something different now. Okay, so I've come to the end of entrepreneurial leadership, and I hope that this presentation is able to let it just be like a catalyst, that an awakening for you to be able to understand that I need to take action for my business, for my life right now, in what I want to do. I want to become an entrepreneurial leader. I want to become a leader. We will do different aspects of leadership in the coming weeks, because Africa is in dire need of emerging leaders, new leaders that will take their place in the marketplace of this world, in the corporate world, in the corporate world, and also in the political space, will be able to take their space in these places. So we need to raise leaders, and this is what I want this series to do, to sow that seed of leadership inside of you, so that you can get up here and say, no, I can do it differently. I can begin that work. So I have started, since we are making a transition from business to leadership. So I wanted to start with entrepreneurial leadership. Next week, we'll take another angle of leadership, If you want to ask me questions, because our time is spent for today, you can ask me on Wednesday. Wednesday by 4 p.m., I come live to talk to people on, you decide what you want. But I always tell people, I'm not just a leadership and life and business coach. I'm also a life coach. I talk on marriages, relationships, personal and corporate. Most of the questions I even get are on life and on marriages. And I like that, because I'm also a life coach, and I can do that. So whatever questions, and if you do not, if there are certain areas that you missed in this presentation, you can go to YouTube and you can get that. But if you want to ask me directly, you can also ask me directly on, you can ask me directly on, you can ask me on Wednesday by 4 p.m. You can ask me directly, oh, I want this. And if you ask me, then I'll come on and I'll be able to answer you those questions. So please try as much as possible to ask your questions, and I'll answer it there. If you know someone also that needs these trainings, please, you can send them the link. If you want to be part of the mentee that I mentor on a daily, weekly basis, as the case may be, you can join. You can see the link there is put out there for those of you on Facebook, and and on Instagram. You can see it's linktree/Uche Onoche. It's spelled linktr.ee/Uche Onoche. If you want to be part of the mentees, you can hit that link and register, and it will bring you to the WhatsApp group. So I come to the end of this presentation. Have a good night rest, and God bless you guys. Good night.